Chronology of Eastern Nagaland Chapter 3, From Backward Tract to Frontier Territory. ENPO want a final draft and a date of signing the MOS with Government of India. Now what are the ENPO grievances and what are they demanding? ENPO claimed that the area of ENPO consisting of 6 districts occupies an estimated area of 8,154 square kilometers out of 16,579 square kilometers of Nagaland state. So in terms of area, almost 48% of total land of present Nagaland state are occupied by Eastern Nagas, and in terms of population, when the demand for frontier Nagaland was raised in 2010, the total population was around 0.9+ million, that is almost half the total population of Nagaland. It claimed that even though it has almost 0.5% in terms of area and pollution, there is unequal distribution of political representatives, economic and infrastructural development, that only 6 MLA out of 40 MLA was allotted to eastern areas at the time of the creation of Nagaland statehood in 1963. Later in 1968, 12 MLA was allotted, and after Tuensing area got a separate districthood in 1973, increased to 20 seats that are still in application. The per capita income in eastern areas is quite below the average of other district of Nagaland, that the per capita income of eastern areas is just 5,000 rupees as against 16,000 rupees of other district of Nagaland. As per the memorandum submitted in 2010 and consequent demands, some of the demands of ENPO are: 1. Creation of 45 departments under new administrative structure. 2. A separate state assembly. 3. A separate capital. 4. A separate secretariat. 5. A separate High Court. 6. A separate governor. 7. Additional Director General of Police for the Frontier Territory. 8. Implementation of Art 371A, by which it also mean implementation of BEFR 1873 and Art 371A. 9. Direct central development funding from the central government. This is also based on the provision in Art 371A, under which it gives a special provision to eastern areas, i.e. under Clause 1, Subclause D, special provision for the administration of eastern areas. Secondly, Clause 2, Subclause B, consolidated fund for development provided to the government to Nagaland. The governor shall arrange equitable allocation for Tuensing district. 10. After this, if MOS is agreed and signed between ENPO and Government of India, an interim government will set up for a period of 1 year to carry out the process of agreement into full implementation. So, this is why and some of what the ENPO demands are, and if we look through, it is legitimately fair if we look outside the context of Naga settlement. The area has been isolated and deprived of proper administration. Although it was the Nagas that was resisting the British rule in their territory, the region didn't had a robust administration both under the British government and post-colonial era under the Go-I, under Nagaland government, and has been meted a step-motherly treatment. One thing that I truly want to appreciate the leader of ENPO is their adamant commitment and demand. They didn't succumb to the just temporary arrangement or settlement of financial, economic or developmental packages, but standing for a long-term solution for future generation, for the betterment and welfare of the people Eastern Nagas. The economic package will be emptied in few years or decades, but if proper solutions are made, that is going to last forever. Yet the ENPO and peoples also has to realize and introspect whether they are electing the right political representative to stand for them, or their own leaders are the stumbling the victory of the movement. With this settlement, reservation policy as backward quota will need to come to an end, delimitation be implemented, and disintegration of Naga areas will be averted. However, the demand of governor as the head of state, if it means head only for the state of frontier territory, then it depends on the people mandate, but if it is for the whole state, then the demand need introspection by the Nagas as whole, because Nagaland state will be directly placed under the central government, even below the position of union territory, because even in UT, the chief minister is the head of the state and not the governor, but under this arrangement the governor will be the head of the state and the chief minister will just be the nominal head of the state. This arrangement will also be first in the country, where the governor, appointed by the central government, will be the head and not the Naga's elected leader. So if this is true, I also appeal to reconsider on this demand, as this demand is impracticable. ENPO should also make the content of the MOS public and let public be aware of the full demands of the ENPOs, and not to conceal just within the legislative spheres, as this will create mistrust among the Nagas, since this the concern of Nagas as a whole. Besides this, if Nagas do not agree to grant ENPO demands, then they should not complain the reservation policy, quota. Airport, railways, separate university, hospitals, 4-lane roads and other public infrastructure should be constructed immediately within a specific period for the eastern areas. 40 to 50% of legislative seats as per the area and population should be equitably arranged and give to Eastern Nagas, but will Nagas of Nagaland agree to sacrifice their lion's share? Now the offer of talks and solution after election are in the corner. Will the ENPO once again become baiting lamb for the sake of election? Will its elected representatives truly stand for its people and resign for the greater cause of the Eastern Nagas, or will it succumb one more time? That's the chronology of Eastern Nagaland, which I have made in 3 phrases. I hope you've learned something new about the Eastern Nagaland. Thank you so much everyone for your unconditional love and support.